Good morning. If you have decided to study to become a professional hypnotherapist, continue with us in this beautiful project of study and learning. Hypnosis is a powerful technique with which you will be able to help and improve the quality of life of a great number of your future patients. Remember, study the description of this video where you can find a link to free training classes on clinical hypnosis with several free ebooks. Eating disorders, ED, encompass several chronic and progressive illnesses that, although they manifest themselves through eating behavior, actually consist of a very complex range of symptoms, among which a disturbance or distortion of body self-image is prevalent. A great fear of gaining weight and the acquisition of a set of values through body image. 1.4% of women suffer from anorexia nervosa or bulimia. Ratio of 10 women to 1 man. Onset is from 14 to 20 years of age. Classification: binge eating disorder, bulimia, anorexia nervosa, bigorexia, megarexia. Other disorders: binge eating disorder, compulsive overeating. After this attack of gluttony, there is a phase of food restriction. Once another overeating begins, anxiety decreases, mood improves. The individual recognizes that the eating pattern is not correct and feels guilty for the lack of control. Bulimia. The person with bulimia experiences bouts of voracity, which will be followed by fasting or vomiting to counteract overeating. Use or abuse of laxatives to facilitate bowel movements. Excessive preoccupation with body image. And feelings of depression, anxiety, and guilt for lack of self-control. People suffering from the disease may have up to 2 episodes per day. Types: purgative, where after periods of binge eating, the sufferer uses laxatives, diuretics, or makes himself or herself vomit as a compensatory method. Non-purging, to counteract binge eating, excessive exercise, restrictive diets, even fasting. We must treat anxiety, lack of self-esteem, and body image disturbance. It is recommended to see the fingertips and use the pulse and hand trick. Consequences: amenorrhea, absence of menstruation, finger malformations, dental and maxillofacial problems due to constant binge eating, hair loss, arrhythmias, which can lead to heart attacks, esophageal perforation, pancreatitis, etc. Anorexia nervosa. High weight loss greater than 15% due to adherence to extremely restrictive diets and the use of purgative behaviors such as vomiting and excessive physical exercise. To be treated: altered body image, increased body size, intense fear of eating in the presence of others, low carbohydrate and low fat diets, preoccupation with food, abuse of laxatives and lying. These are young girls who are influenced by being fans of celebrities and models. Mythomania is an impulse to lie. It is not a disease in itself, but corresponds to a set of symptoms that can occur in various psychiatric illnesses. Types: restrictive nervous, hardly eats at all and in many cases exercises excessively. Purgative nervous, purgative processes such as vomiting, diuretics or laxatives after having ingested tiny amounts of food. Bigorexia, obsessive preoccupation with the physique and a distortion of the body schema, extreme sport activity, compulsive eating to gain weight, in the perception of still being too thin. Men are the main sufferers of vigorexia, although it is a disease that also affects women. It is an eating disorder that is evident in an unbalanced diet, where the amount of protein and carbohydrates consumed is excessive, while the amount of lipids is reduced. In colloquial usage, lipids are incorrectly called fats, as fats are only one type of lipid from animals. Especially problematic when steroids are consumed, where there will be mood swings. Megarexia, the opposite of anorexia nervosa. Obese people who look at themselves in the mirror and do not perceive it consider excess weight to be synonyms with strength and vitality. Eat junk food, sweets, fried foods, fatty foods, desserts, etc. Other disorders. Orthorexia, eating foods that she thinks are healthy but are actually not healthy. Pica, ingestion of inedible food. Diabulimia, the bulimia sufferer plus diabetic manipulates the doses of insulin to be injected in order to lose weight or compensate for binge eating. Hyperphagia, consuming large quantities of food after having eaten properly. Conclusions. Medical supervision for diets, food intolerance or allergy tests. The foods that tend to cause most cases of intolerance are dairy products, eggs, nuts, and some cereal. Ask for a complete analysis, study the blood pressure, if necessary, send to the cardiologist, etc. Thyroid. It is a neuroendocrine gland located just below the Adam's apple, next to the thyroid, cartilage, and over the trachea. Weighs between 15 and 30 grams in the adult. It is a protein producer and regulates the body sensitive to other hormones. The most important hormone produced by the thyroid, it contains iodine and is called thyroxine. Hypothyroidism, excessive secretion and decreased weight. Hypothyroidism, decreased production of thyroid hormones and weight gain. Treatment. Diagnosis is made through clinical evaluation, ideally by an endocrinologist. Treatment is thyroid hormone replacement or levothyroxine orally. The patient should be monitored periodically to determine the need for a change in dosage. The student should study on his or her own. Hygienism, a diet that eliminates refined foodstuffs such as white flour, white rice, white salt, and other foods that have been stripped of their original nutrients. Raw and fresh foods abound, favoring the consumption of fruits and salads. Vegetarianism advocates a global attitude of true respect for non-human animals. The vegan diet, free of all animal products, goes hand in hand with the rejection of all forms of animal exploitation. Not only to do without all products of animal origin in food, but also in clothing, while rejecting shows in which animals are used. Macrobiotics, a system both philosophical and practical. Its aim is to actualize the ancient, single, oriental principle of yin and yang. Judgment becomes clearer, able to perceive reality in a more accurate way. Raw, eating uncooked food, unprocessed and often organic, includes eggs, fish, including sashimi, meats and dairy products that are not pasteurized or not homogenized, such as milk, fresh cheese and fresh yogurt. If you're interested in learning more about clinical hypnosis, watch our next video, Obesity, Goal of Treatment with Clinical Hypnosis. Remember to study the description of this video, where you can find a link to free training classes about clinical hypnosis, with several ebooks also free of charge. If you have questions, ask them in the comments area about this topic and many others we'll talk about in the channel and in the videos that we'll publish. So, if you're interested, don't miss our next videos. Thank you very much.